Good day children, Sai Ram and welcome back to our revision session of lesson number 5, Precipitation. The previous lecture we have learnt about the two types of rainfall, that is convectional rainfall and the orographic rainfall. Now let's continue with our revision. Now as we know, India gets rainfall from the monsoon winds. Okay, so the effect of the monsoon rainfall is important when we think about the Indian subcontinent. The rainfall which is occurring in India because of this wind is orographic type of rainfall. Okay, what type of rainfall it is? Orographic type of rainfall. Here you can see in this picture the cross profile of Maharashtra and the rainfall taking place in Maharashtra. Okay, now you can see over here in this diagram this side of the Sahyadri Hills. Okay, this side of the Sahyadri Hills is the coastal area. Okay, so the winds which are coming over here are moisture laden. Okay, and so the clouds also, you can see the colors of the clouds. Okay, it is very much grey in color. Okay, so whatever rainfall is there, it takes place over here only because it is moisture laden, just because of the obstruction by the Sahyadri Hills. Okay, then after the Sahyadri Hills, if you can see, the clouds colors are changing. It is becoming lighter and lighter. Okay, the grey color is becoming lighter and lighter. What does this show? This shows that the clouds are becoming empty. The moisture in the cloud is becoming lesser. Okay, there is a decrease in the altitude, increase in moisture holding capacity. Now the clouds are ready to hold more moisture in them. Okay, that means they are empty. Okay, so the Maharashtra plateau which is there, this part is a rain shadow area because hardly any rainfall takes place over here because the clouds are not at all moisture laden. Okay, so this picture shows you about the orographic type of rainfall which is taking place in the Deccan plateau, that is the Maharashtra plateau. Next we are going to learn is about the cyclonic rainfall, that is the third type of rainfall. Okay, we have learned about the convectional rainfall, we have learned about the orographic rainfall. Now it is the cyclonic rainfall. What is a cyclonic rainfall? We have learned what is a cyclone. Okay, in our earlier classes we have learned what is a cyclone. Okay, when a particular place, okay, is having low pressure, okay, and the surrounding area of this place is having high pressure. So now children, tell me, from where to where the winds are going to blow? Winds always blow from a high pressure area towards the low pressure area. So the wind will blow from a surrounding area towards the central low pressure area. Okay, and when all the winds are coming towards the central low pressure area, what will happen? A cyclone will take place. Okay, in a cyclone, as you all know, the wind moves in a circular manner. Okay, when it is moving in a circular manner, it goes up at a higher altitude. Okay, when it goes up at a higher altitude, the temperature reduces. And because of the temperature reducing, what happened? Condensation takes place and rainfall takes place in that particular place. So now, wherever the cyclone is moving, there will have this cyclonic type of rainfall. Mainly, this type of rainfall takes place in temperate zones, and cyclone area is also quite extensive. If you talk about the tropical region, here also it takes place, but it is very much limited in extent. Okay, and when it is taking place in this tropical region, it is stormy in nature. Here you can see the picture of a cyclonic rainfall. Okay, how the wind is blowing in a circular manner. Now, orographic rainfall. This orographic type of rainfall takes place in most part of the world. Okay, in most part of the world, orographic rainfall is taking place. While if you see the convectional rainfall, it is regional in nature. Okay, it is limited to a region. Mainly it takes place in the equatorial region. While if you see cyclonic and orographic are lesser certain. Okay, so the cyclonic rainfall and orographic rainfall, they are lesser certain. The certainty is not fixed. Okay, so the places where the cyclonic and orographic rainfall takes place, these areas are prone to either heavy rain or no rains at all. Okay, one of the two things. So what happens? Either flood will take place or drought will take place, that also frequently. Okay, such is the condition of the three types of rainfall. Now you can see over here the picture of a rain gauge. Okay, what is a rain gauge? A rain gauge is that instrument by which we can measure the rainfall in a particular place. You can see over here in this diagram, you can see a measuring jar, a funnel, a bottle, okay, then a mound. Now let's see the working of the rain gauge. It is an instrument to measure rainfall. First of all, rain gauge is an instrument to measure rainfall. Here the funnel is fixed to a bottle. Okay, now this instrument is kept out in an open ground. Okay, where the water, only the rainwater will fall into the bottle. Okay, and after the water is collected in the bottle, that bottle is poured into the measuring jar. Okay, then the reading is taken from the measuring jar and the reading is read in millimeters. That means the unit of measuring rainfall is millimeters. Okay, and this reading is taken after every 3 hours. Okay, so, and as I told you, the gauge is kept out in an open ground so that no obstructions are there in the middle. Okay, and that also on a 30 centimeter high flat mount. Okay, so that we get a proper reading about the rain in that particular place. How much of water does 1 mm of rain mean? Okay, if rainfall is there of 1 mm in a particular region, that is in a 1 square kilometer area. Okay, if 1 mm of rainfall is taking place in 1 square kilometer of area, then how much water we can get? 10 lakh liters of water we can get from this 1 mm of rainfall. Okay, and how is snowfall measured? Snowfall is also measured with the help of a rain gauge only. What actually happens, this snowfall, which is snow which is there, it is melted first of all, then it is poured into the measuring jar. From that we can get to know how much mm of snowfall is taking place in that particular place. Okay, a layer of 120 mm of ice is equivalent to 10 mm of rainfall. Okay, if we are having 120 mm of ice, okay, it is equal to 10 mm of rainfall in that particular place. Next we are going to learn is about the fog, dew and frost. We have learned about the fog, dew and frost in the starting of the lesson. Okay, we have seen some examples related to that. Okay, when temperature reduces, when the temperature of the air reduces, water vapor condenses. Okay, and vapor turns into microscopic water particles and they start floating in the air. Okay, when the density of these droplets increases, fog occurs. Okay, next thing is the moisture laden air. In the winter season, children, you all must have seen outside when you go on your car and all, maybe some dew drops are formed on it. How it is formed? The moisture laden air, already the air is moisture laden. When it comes into contact with cold objects, okay, condensation takes place and turns into water droplets which cling to the cold object, and this is only called as dew. Okay, now this dew drops which are there, okay, in places where the temperature is below 0 degree, that is very low temperature, okay, when it is falling down to less than 0 degrees Celsius, in such places these only dew drops which are there, they freeze, and this frozen water droplets is called as frost. What it is called as? Frost. Okay, children, so this is the difference between fog, dew and frost. Let's see the effects of precipitation. Now, as you all know, rain is the main source of potable water on the earth's surface. Okay, other water is from the seas and the ocean, which is not at all fit for drinking. Okay, but the rain is the main source of potable water. Now, if we talk about rainfall, excessive rain is also not good, as well as no rain is also not good. If excessive rain is there, then flood can take place. If no rain is there, then drought can take place. Okay, both the way it is a problem. So in such a conditions, what happens? Food needs to be imported when a drought is taking place or whether flood is taking place. Food is to be imported. Even the condition of the farmer becomes very much pathetic, grave. Okay, the country's economy is also very affected very badly. For a country like India, which is an agrarian country. Okay, such type of country is totally depend upon agriculture. Okay, and if agriculture is only affected, then the economy of the country can fall down. Okay, can be destroyed, can be affected very badly. But if we talk about the rainfall at a particular about the rainfall, that is a good rainfall. Okay, and at the right time, a good rainfall and at the right time increase the crops production. Okay, the crops grow well. Okay, the production of crop is good in that place. But if the rain is taking at out of time, okay, when out of time rain is taking place, what happens? It causes damage to the crops. Okay, good rainfall at the right time, okay, increases the crops production, while untimely rain at the wrong time, that is the rainfall is there, then it causes damage to the crops. The next thing we are going to learn is about the fog. As you all know, fog, it reduces the visibility. Okay, when it is there, when fog is there in a particular place, it reduces visibility. Because of the visibility, what happens? Transportation is collapsed. Okay, transportation like road, rail, water and airways, these are affected because of the fog. Accidents can take place. Trains and flights are cancelled when the fog takes place. Even the fog is harmful to crops, okay, and causes accidents also on the roads. Then fog and dew damage some of the crops. Okay, it causes certain diseases, while to some of the crops it is very much beneficial also. Okay, so this is the effects of fog, dew and frost. Okay children, I hope you all have understood till here. Okay, yes, let's go on to the next topic now, that is acid rain. Yes children, what is acid rain? Have you all heard about acid rain? Yes, many a times you all must have heard about acid rain. Okay, because of the air pollution in industrial areas. Okay, there is air pollution in the industrial areas. Okay, so what happens because of this air pollution? Various gases get mixed up in the air. Okay, these gases get mixed up in the air, and because of which different acids are created. Okay, different acids are created when the water vapor in the air reacts. When the water vapor which is present in the air, it reacts with these gases. Okay, what happens? Air reacts chemically with these gases. Then what happens because of this? Nitric acid, sulfuric acid is formed. Okay, what happens? Nitric acid, sulfuric acid are formed. Now precipitation, when it takes place with the help with dissolved acids like this, it reach out to the ground. Okay, and that is only called as acid rain. Okay, and acid rain is very much harmful to living organism as well as to non-living objects. Okay, it is very much harmful to living organism and non-living objects. You must have heard about the destruction caused to the monument Taj Mahal. Okay, yes, I hope you all have understood this lesson very nicely. I hope we have revised it very nicely children. Okay children, thank you.